Ever questioned whether the folks in your immediate vicinity are genuinely sincere? In some cases, kind words and smiles can mask lies and jealousy. We often assume that we can tell who is being sincere with us, but in practice this isn't always the case. Jealousy and deceit can be well hidden, making the people who harbor these feelings the most dangerous. For example, let's say you're celebrating a major career achievement at work and everyone is congratulating you. Why do you feel like something is wrong? Perhaps there's someone in the crowd who is hiding their envy behind their congratulations. These subdued yet effective cues can alert you to the possibility of deceit and jealousy in today's film. I'll give you 10 practical ways to spot deceit and envy in other people. These techniques, which have their roots in the profound teachings of Stoic philosophy and have endured for thousands of years, will not only assist you in gaining emotional control and mental clarity, but they will also provide you the means to recognize and deal with other people's deceit and jealousy. Before we begin the movie, by putting these ideas into practice, you will not only become stronger, but also smarter in establishing and preserving relationships. These techniques will shield you from poisonous connections and assist you in creating a happier and more tranquil existence. I want to give you a little challenge. Watch the video until the end and make sure you don't miss any of the lessons, because they are all important for helping you live a full and peaceful life and stay true to your decisions. When you're ready to explore the profound knowledge of Stoic philosophy, please let me know in the comment section below. Number 1. Observe their actions. One of the fundamental tenets of Stoic philosophy is to place more faith in deeds than in words. A person's behavior is the best indicator of their character and goals. Although words can be used to manipulate, conceal, or even lie, actions speak louder than words when one observes others and notices the discrepancies between their words and deeds. Even though someone seems kind and encouraging in words, their actions could be telling a different story. For example, a co-worker could publicly congratulate you on your accomplishments while privately undermining or criticizing your work behind your back. It's the actions, not the words, that reveal a person's true intentions. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. One's actions are irrefutable evidence of a person's true character." Take this into consideration. Have you ever felt like someone says one thing but does another? Have you ever encountered someone who promised to help but never followed through? These inconsistent actions are clear signs of insincerity and can be rooted in jealousy. This behavior demonstrates deceit and unreliability. Try observing how people behave when they believe no one is watching or when nothing is at risk, and you will probably acquire insights into their genuine nature. These behaviors speak louder than words ever could. This is essential for separating sincere intentions from those that are disguised by polite talk. By emphasizing deeds over words, we can better understand the depth of a person's character. This practice not only enables us to discern the true nature of our friends and associates, but it also challenges us to consider our own behavior, because it is our actions, not just our words, that define who we are. Number 2. Evaluate their response to your success. People's reactions to your accomplishment in daily life indicate their actual emotions. When they witness others succeed, jealous people frequently exhibit jealousy and find it difficult to conceal their uneasiness. They may attempt to discredit your accomplishments by making unjustified criticisms or phony congrats while secretly feeling unsatisfied. There is a saying that says, "The only person you should try to be better than is the person you were yesterday." People who genuinely respect and support you will be happy to see you progress and succeed because they understand that each of your accomplishments is a step forward in your journey of self-improvement. This not only damages relationships, but also reveals the darker aspects of their character. The people who are against you, on the other hand, will view your success as a threat or evidence that they are weak or not working hard enough. Consider the last time you accomplished something noteworthy and how those close to you responded. You can tell who is truly wise and sincere by their responses. Supportive people will rejoice with you and acknowledge your accomplishments because they know how hard you've worked for them. Their feedback is frequently positive, uplifting, and devoid of negativity. On the other hand, jealous or dishonest people will try to downplay or deny your accomplishments. They may spread untrue rumors, offer unfair criticism, or even try to sabotage your success. The Stoic philosophy teaches us to let go of things we cannot control and to concentrate on growing personally and forming genuine relationships rather than becoming entangled in a vicious cycle of jealousy and lies. You can tell someone is honest by not only seeing how they respond to your success, but also by seeing how they treat people of lower status. Now let's move on to lesson number 3. They may make subtle criticisms or downplay your accomplishments, believing your success is a fluke and denying your efforts. What do you do when you find someone in your life is jealous and dishonest? Number 3, notice how they interact with those who can't benefit them. It's instructive to see how people behave toward those who are unable to provide them with any real advantages in terms of resources, connections, or power in any social or employment setting. This type of conversation discloses a great deal about a person's morals and character. Deep insights into someone's inner nature can be gained from how they treat someone who doesn't seem to have anything in return. Assessing the sincerity and integrity of interactions and relationships can be made easier by having a better understanding of this dynamic. A person's genuine character can be determined by looking at how they treat people who are unable to help them. In these exchanges, genuine kindness, respect, and empathy frequently indicate a person who values people for who they are rather than for what they can do for them. Consistency in behavior. Integrity and authenticity are exhibited by those who treat everyone with care and respect, regardless of their standing in society or possible advantages. Their personal values are strongly indicated by this uniformity. Genuine empathy is demonstrated by acting empathetically and understandingly toward others who are unable to return the favor. It demonstrates that the individual respects relationships more than they do transactions and believes in their intrinsic value. Reliability and trustworthiness are frequently indicated by someone's willingness to treat everyone with respect, even if they are unable to reciprocate. Their actions imply that they are less prone to take advantage of or control other people. Effect on relationships. People's interactions with others who are less powerful or influential might affect how other people see and regard them. One's reputation can be improved and deeper. More genuine relationships can be formed by treating everyone with respect. You can learn a lot about people's genuine motivations and nature by concentrating on these factors, and you can use this knowledge to guide your interactions and decisions in a variety of social and professional settings. Number 4. Distinguish between praise and flattery. Comprehending the distinction between flattery and appreciation is crucial for creating strong relationships and communicating effectively. While flattery refers to overly flattering remarks that are frequently made with the intention of manipulating or gaining favor, praise is the real recognition of someone's accomplishments, efforts, or attributes. Maintaining authenticity and trust in conversations is facilitated by acknowledging these distinctions. Goal: Acknowledgement, intended to identify and appreciate sincere attempts, achievements, or attributes. It conveys gratitude and honesty. Flattery, frequently motivated by manipulation or self-interest. It entails flattering or deceptive praise in order to gain support or influence. Genuineness, accolades, sincere and precise. It is founded on a frank appraisal and emphasizes actual accomplishments or attributes. Flattery could be too general and impersonal. It frequently entails broad, overly enthusiastic praises that might not truly express feelings. Effect on interpersonal relationships. Praise fosters mutual respect and trust, which strengthens bonds between people. It promotes favorable interactions and sustained work. Relationships may suffer from flattery if it is viewed as being fake. It could undermine sincere relationships by fostering mistrust or manipulation. Context and frequency. Acknowledgement, bestowed suitably and when merited. It recognizes legitimate contributions and is pertinent to the circumstance. Courtesies may be overbearing and inappropriate. It frequently happens when the person who is flattering you wants something in return. Reaction and input. Praise encourages the recipient and frequently elicits a good response. It is recognized and honored. Flattery. If the recipient perceives insincerity, it may cause them to feel uneasy or skeptical. It might result in embarrassment or a lack of trust. Gaining an understanding of these differences promotes genuine conversation and the development of deep, polite relationships. Number 5. Monitor consistency. The process of making sure that behavior, policy, and communication are consistent and aligned across all platforms and levels within an organization or amongst individuals is known as monitor consistency. It is essential for upholding dependability, fostering confidence, and guaranteeing that all interested parties get the same message. Being consistent in one's actions, decisions, and communication is crucial for building credibility and maintaining a stable environment in the context of leadership and communication. Sync up communication with behaviors. Make sure your actions and words line up. Confusion and mistrust might result from inconsistent communication. If you support a set of beliefs or practices, you should continuously act in a way that is consistent with those beliefs. Provide precise instructions and expectations. Establish unambiguous guidelines for conduct and correspondence among members of your group or company. Ensure that these rules are understood by all and that they are followed consistently. This guarantees that everyone is in agreement and helps prevent misunderstandings. Keep an eye on and review frequently. Make sure that activities and communication are consistent by reviewing them on a regular basis. This entails reviewing decisions made, messages communicated, and the way policies are carried out. Frequent monitoring makes it easier to spot irregularities and take quick corrective action. Deal with inconsistencies quickly. As soon as discrepancies are found, take prompt action. This could entail revising instructions, changing activities, or making messages more clear. Quick action keeps everything under control and keeps minor concerns from becoming major ones. Encourage a culture of input. Invite others to provide comments on your behavior and communication. A transparent atmosphere that embraces criticism facilitates the identification of inconsistent areas and offers chances for ongoing development. Sustaining uniformity in both speech and behavior is essential to fostering confidence and guaranteeing successful leadership. You may establish a more dependable and unified atmosphere by putting these techniques into effect. When assessing an individual, consider their actions and behaviors in various contexts and whether they are consistent with their statements. Speaking is easy, but acting is harder. When evaluating someone, it's important to consider whether their actions are consistent with their declared beliefs and values, or if they alter them to fit their circumstances or personal objectives. Stoic philosophy encourages us to evaluate people based on how they behave, as this is a useful method of identifying jealous and dishonest people. Those who are envious and dishonest frequently find it difficult to be this consistent. When confronted with people they need to take advantage of, they may appear kind and sincere, but when those people are no longer useful to them, they turn cold and mean. For example, someone may act sincere and praise you in front of others, but behind your back, they may complain about your success. You may also notice odd gestures when they compliment you. This doesn't just happen once, but repeatedly. When you notice an anomaly, don't jump to conclusions. Instead, proceed with caution. It's important to note whether these are isolated incidents or part of a recurring pattern. How consistent are their actions? If they act completely differently when you're not around, this is a clear sign of jealousy and deception. Continue observing to see if actions contradicting words are a pattern. Seeing how they interact with others is another method to assess consistency. An honest person won't favor one person over another for their own gain. Instead, they will treat everyone fairly and with respect, without discriminating based on personal interests. Constancy in conduct is a reflection of one's integrity and reliability. We are halfway through our journey. Thank you for being here. Your support is a great source of encouragement for us in spreading the true values of Stoic philosophy to more people. Please like and share this video to help spread these lessons to your relatives and friends, contributing to the creation of a happier and more peaceful world. Leave a comment with always. Observe carefully to let us know you are ready to become a Stoic and full of energy to continue your journey with the next 5 lessons. Do you know of a spouse acting inconsistently? If the answer is no, be cautious, as these people may be hiding jealously. Number 6. Observe their attitude when criticized. Knowing how someone responds to criticism can provide important insights about their mental and emotional states. Not only can you adjust your communication style based on how they respond to feedback, but it also promotes a more positive and understanding exchange of ideas. This knowledge is essential for preserving goodwill and making sure that criticism is given and accepted in the most efficient way possible. Keep an eye on your emotions. Be mindful of any instantaneous emotional reactions, such as humiliation, rage, or defensiveness. These responses can reveal information about a person's emotional fortitude and how they handle criticism. Examine your body language. Take note of non-verbal clues such as hunched over, avoided eye contact, or crossed arms. Unspoken sentiments and attitudes can frequently be deduced from body language. Pay attention to what they have to say. Examine the words and tone they use to address criticism. Are they openly hostile, dismissive, or passive-aggressive? This may suggest that they are receptive to criticism and want to have a productive discussion. Determine if they are willing to participate. See if they are open to talking about the critique or if they avoid the subject. While retreating could be an indication of pain or denial, being willing to participate implies that one is prepared to become better. Examine their reaction over time. Observe how their attitude changes as a result of continuous criticism. Reactions that are consistently negative could call for a different strategy, while improvements over time can indicate progress and successful communication. By keeping a close eye on these elements, you can adjust your feedback-giving style more effectively and promote a more constructive dialogue. Number 7. Attentively. Notice unintentional comparisons. Unintentional comparisons have a subtle effect on how messages are perceived and comprehended in communication. These comparisons can happen when we make unintentional but potentially damaging comparisons between ourselves, other people, or circumstances. These comparisons can affect interactions and dialogue. More empathetic and productive communication can be fostered by acknowledging and addressing these parallels. Understanding of subtle comparisons. Acknowledge that even when we don't say so out loud, comparisons may nonetheless occur. Be mindful of the ways that language and environment might subtly compare individuals or circumstances. Impact on self-esteem. Inadvertent comparisons can lead to feelings of jealousy or inadequacy, which can lower one's self-esteem. Consider the effects that your remarks and analogies may have on other people. Empathy in communication. Be mindful of how others may interpret your remarks as you approach interactions with empathy. Steer clear of comparisons that can come out as condescending or contemptuous. Make your objectives clear. Make sure your comparisons are beneficial rather than harmful by making your objectives clear. This promotes clarity and keeps miscommunications at bay. Promote positive interactions. Relocate the emphasis from making comparisons to praising each person's unique abilities and accomplishments. Instead than comparing one scenario or person to another, emphasize what makes them special. In our everyday lives, we frequently come across unconscious comparisons. According to Stoicism, these comparisons can be more than just casual remarks. They can also be indicators of concealed envy and dishonesty. When someone unintentionally compares you to others, they may reveal more about themselves than about you. These comparisons often come from a place of insecurity and jealousy. For instance, if a colleague compares your success to others frequently, it may indicate that they feel threatened by your progress. People who compare you to others frequently may be attempting to diminish your value by making you feel inadequate and unworthy. Listening to and understanding these comparisons is one effective way to recognize jealous and insincere individuals. They frequently use this conduct to cover up their vulnerabilities and project a sense of superiority. Consider the following scenario. You reach a major career milestone at work, but instead of receiving congratulations, a coworker remarks, "That's good, but I think John is still better." This is a jealousy tactic rather than just a harmless comparison. It's possible that your coworker is trying to minimize your success out of jealousy. You may tell who truly supports you by listening to unconscious comparisons. True friends value you for who you are and don't feel the need to compare you to others to show their appreciation or regard for you. When you hear degrading comparisons, consider who in your life frequently engages in unconscious comparisons and whether you should trust them. Do you think that the Stoic philosophy encourages us to see them as outside forces that are beyond our control? Making this distinction clearly enables us to preserve our inner serenity. If so, please enjoy the film. If not, please leave a remark so that we can talk about it and see if there's more to it. Number 8. Pay attention to their reactions to personal failures. Stoicism emphasizes that failure is a clear reflection of a person's character and actual goals, as well as a test of patience and maturity. These are the people you can trust and look up to. Those who are truly strong and honest accept failure and strive to improve instead of blaming others or trying to hide their mistakes. They recognize that failure is an inevitable part of life and that it presents opportunities for growth and self-improvement. When someone is jealous or dishonest, on the other hand, they react to failure in quite different ways. Instead of learning from their mistakes, they look for ways to hide and justify their actions. They may even fabricate stories or disparage others in order to protect their egos. Have you ever encountered someone who consistently places the blame for their problems on others? If so, have you thought that this might be an indication of dishonesty and jealousy? Pay attention to these signals in order to identify this more clearly. An honest person will not hesitate to accept their faults and attempt to improve, whereas a dishonest person will always protect their ego and avoid the truth. When someone fails, do they admit their mistakes? Are they eager to learn and change, or do they dodge responsibility and blame others? Daku Ikeda once said that the greatest adversity is when a person's genuine essence is revealed. This quotation perfectly captures the essence of Stoic philosophy by serving as a reminder that a person's response to failure says a lot about them. Spend some time observing how others close to you respond to setbacks. Never be duped by flimsy statements or behaviors. Have you experienced any situations that are comparable to the ones I've described? If so, please like the video and leave your insightful comments below. I look forward to hearing from you. Number 9. Evaluate how they share personal information. Understanding how people communicate and how this affects their relationships, privacy, and personal limits is crucial when talking about how people share personal information. By analyzing these sharing customs, we can better understand the subtleties of communication and the value of being considerate of other people's comfort zones. Recognizing personal space limits. Definition: an individual's personal privacy boundaries are the restrictions they place on what personal information they will divulge and to whom. Evaluation: determine whether people respect each other's boundaries and how well they convey them. Upholding privacy is essential to preserving relationships based on trust. Methods of exchange. Definition: written communication, texts, emails, social media, and voice communication are examples of modes of sharing. Evaluation: take into account how various modes impact shared information security and perception. Sharing private material on social media, for instance, may expose it to more people than you had intended. Context and suitability. Definition: the effect and appropriateness of information are influenced by the context in which it is shared, e.g., personal versus professional contexts. Evaluation: determine whether the information sharing's timing and location are suitable for the audience and the content. In a work situation, disclosing personal information could cause awkwardness or etiquette violations. Agreement and independence definition. Autonomy refers to a person's control over their own information, whereas consent entails granting permission before revealing someone else's information. Evaluation: find out if people respect their personal autonomy in choosing what information to disclose about themselves and if they get consent before sharing information about others. Effect on interpersonal relationships. Definition: when boundaries are not upheld, sharing personal information can cause problems rather than building trust in relationships. Evaluation: consider how interpersonal dynamics are affected by the disclosure of personal information. While negative effects could include pain or a violation of trust, positive effects could include increased trust and connection. You can better comprehend and handle the intricate dynamics of sharing personal information in a variety of circumstances by weighing these factors. According to Marcus Aurelius, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. A person's information sharing style not only reflects their inner thoughts, but also vividly illustrates their sincerity or dishonesty. Stoic philosophy suggests that we pay attention to how someone discusses their achievements and setbacks. A sincere person will do it in a humble manner, highlighting the lessons they have learnt from their experiences. On the other hand, a dishonest person frequently embellishes or even makes up their successes in order to impress and control others. Therefore, we should consider whether the person appears too proud of their achievements or whether they highlight insignificant aspects in order to support their credibility. Furthermore, it's important to assess how they talk about their faults, since a real, honest person won't be afraid to own up to their errors and share the lessons they've learned. A dishonest person, on the other hand, usually avoids talking about their mistakes, or, if they do, places the blame elsewhere or on uncontrollable circumstances rather than accepting responsibility. This is an obvious indication of dishonesty and inner conflict. When someone spreads false or negative information, they are trying to manipulate others' perceptions and create chaos, which reflects their own weaknesses and insecurities in everyday conversations. These remarks are not just petty schemes, but also expressions of jealousy and a twisted soul. As we become more sensitive to recognizing these signs, it will be easier for us to protect our souls from negative influences. If something makes you stop and think, don't do it. Jealous people often spread personal information about others with ill intent. They may even reveal secrets entrusted to them. This brings up the last lesson. Number 10. Listen to your inner voice. To tune into your own thoughts, feelings, and intuition is to listen to your inner voice. It entails being aware of your inner experiences and letting that self-awareness direct your behavior. By practicing this, you can live a more genuine and meaningful life by being in line with your own values and goals. Develop self-awareness. Take some time to contemplate and practice mindfulness to gain insight into your feelings, desires, and moral principles. Connecting with your inner voice can be facilitated by journaling, meditation, and silent reflection. Trust your intuition. Intuition and gut instincts are common ways for your inner voice to speak. Recognize and believe these tiny indications, even if they don't make sense or seem out of the ordinary. Examine your core beliefs and values to gain an understanding of what really matters to you. Allow these principles to direct your choices and behaviors so that they are consistent with who you truly are. Silent outside noise. Minimize outside distractions and influences that could overpower your inner voice. Establish a calm atmosphere and schedule some time for yourself so that you can clearly hear what's going on within. Act on your insights. After you've learned to listen to your inner voice, follow its advice by making practical decisions. Putting your insights into practice strengthens the bond between your behavior on the outside and your inner self. Have you ever found yourself in this circumstance? If the response is yes, stop and pay attention to your inner voice. This may be a warning that your instincts are alerting you to dishonesty or jealousy from that person. You have a colleague who usually seems kind and willing to assist, but you feel uneasy around them. When you find yourself feeling uneasy or suspicious about someone without a clear cause, that is your instinct at work. Your sixth sense or instincts are extremely important in keeping you safe from possible threats. When you sense anything is wrong, take some time to reflect and analyze the circumstances. Does this person consistently try to outdo you, or do they frequently offer phony compliments? These seemingly insignificant behaviors can point to envy and dishonesty. If the explanation is found in their inconsistent statements and actions, one thing to ask yourself is, why do I feel uncomfortable around this person? This could be a warning sign from your intuition. Imagine you are in a position where a coworker is usually kind and worried about you, yet you still feel uncomfortable with them. Never underestimate your inner voice. It's a powerful tool that helps you distinguish between people who are genuinely good and those who are just pretending to be. However, while your inner voice is important, don't ignore the voice of reason. Harmonize both to find a common ground. Pay attention to the small details you might have overlooked. Perhaps they frequently compare themselves to you and often make subtle remarks about others' failures, even if they don't directly attack you. You sense an underlying competition in this case. Although recognizing jealousy and deception is difficult, it is an essential skill to safeguard ourselves and our genuine values in life. Jealous and dishonest people can be found in any setting, including intimate friendships and everyday social interactions. On the inside, they may harbor feelings of insecurity and conflict. Stoic philosophy helps us live stoically and sensibly. By putting Stoic principles into practice, we can recognize and get rid of bad things from our lives. Keep in mind that life is too short to waste on people who don't genuinely care about you. Use the techniques we've covered today to recognize and stay away from people who are jealous and deceitful. You deserve a life full of joy, peace, and healthy relationships. I appreciate you taking the time to view this video. In order to help create a better life together, please share these strategies with your friends and family. Don't forget to click like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more insightful stuff from us. Try to incorporate at least one of these tactics into your everyday life, then return here and leave a remark. I did it by listening to you and sharing your thoughts about the changes in your life. Let the Stoic philosophy be your guide as you travel through life, finding strength and serenity along the way.